Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing great on this Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday evening. Um, Hope that the week has been going great for you guys so far and all that good stuff. And yeah, so for those of you who are new to the channel, I hope that you like what you see here and decide to stick around, hit that subscribe button and the like button, notification bell, all that good stuff to help support the channel and be in tune with me and all the energy within our collective here, all that good stuff. And for those of you who have already been rocking with your girl for a while, welcome back. Hey Lati. So for instance, we have my girl Lati from Tears and Wheat Tarot Show. Check her out. She's amazing at what she does. So Jaleesa, hey, how are you? You know what's funny? I said to myself, I'm gonna text her tomorrow and see how she's doing. That's so funny. Hey Monique, how are you doing? Okay, see, look at that. You guys are flooding in with all this beautiful, positive energy. People who I know and who I've already connected with. I'm just really proud and thankful for you guys. So yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, this has been a little bit of a whirlwind of a past week for me. More than a week, really, but yeah. This past week in particular, even like this past weekend, like crazy. So I'm just like, I love to be here and have you guys popping in. If you guys hear a little bit of noise in the background, no worries. It's just I am doing things a little bit different. I'm in my kitchen. Good acoustics and stuff in here, but the only thing with acoustics is like you hear literally everything. So my son is like washing his hands and stuff, making his little supper, so and warming up stuff in the microwave. So no worries though. So yeah, exactly. So like I said, I'm grateful for all of you guys for being here. And with all that said, this reading is for the 1111 portal. I mean, come on. Like, I woke up this morning, I was looking at the date. I was like, oh my goodness, it's 1111. I have to go on. So, yeah, I'm here and I'm hoping that, we get a message that, resonates with you guys and all that good stuff. And yeah, so let's kind of get started. Let me think here. I think I want to start with the numerology deck. Um, Spirit, for those who are watching this, please be with the collective energy, and those who end up watching at a later time. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good. There's some most accurate messages, please, and thank you. There's some most accurate messages. Yeah, I felt really connected to do one of these readings today. So I was like, yeah. It's been a while since I've done like a portal reading. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. See what's going on with you guys. A couple more shuffles. All right, Spirit, thank you. I like that. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. So South Node energy. I myself and I am a sorry, I'm getting like another message as I'm trying to tell you guys what I'm trying to say. All right, so what I was trying to say is I myself am a Scorpio South Node, but then I'm getting something else. So we have like this whole like 1 second. I have my computer here too for the music. This is turning it down a little bit. Like I got really connected with that one for some reason. I'm getting there are people who might resonate with this message who have been feeling like really boggled down and like tied down to something. And it's gonna be different for everybody. So take the messages as they resonate. But like, just whether it's like family life, personal stuff, mental health, like I'm getting like a whole bunch of stuff coming out all at one time. So take the messages as they resonate. But there's just like a lot of stuff coming through, and it's like, if there's ever been like anything holding you back and holding you down when it comes to, you know, I heard the word trajectory, like trying to like catapult yourself forward in these new areas of life and these new phases. Like, yeah, these cards, the way that they came out is so weird because a bunch of cards came out, but only three of them. Okay, so these are the cards that just now, as I started to shuffle, all these cards right here came out along with these other three cards that came out face up. So these cards are meant to be seen. So we're going to look at them. Like I said, keep in mind that this is a collective message. So it's not going to resonate with everybody, but, take the messages as they resonate. So this makes sense because I literally just said that I am well, I didn't actually say this, but I felt it. It's so weird. Like, even like trying to get my words out is like so strange because we were talking about south node, but my north node is Taurus. My south node is Scorpio, and I was picking up more on my north node energy than my south node. And now we have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. So it's just very interesting because it's like I don't know where it's going yet with this reading. But the one thing that I'm picking up on is like a jumbled up energy. Like I feel like a ball of anxiety. For those of you who have watched, for instance, a good example of what I'm feeling right now within myself is like um, Inside Out 2, the new character of anxiety, like all over the place. That's how I feel right now. So some of you might feel like a ball of just like energy and anxiety, like just a lot of shit happening within yourself, and you're trying to figure out how to like channel it and get in something like that. We have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So some of you might be feeling like this when it comes to the energy of love. That seems a little specific. That's not gonna be for everybody. And then what do we have here? Have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon here. Very, very interesting. So it's like, I think that there's like this, I'm getting like a juxtaposition between, this is not gonna be for everybody, between like the love life aspect of things that, maybe that's the part that's like a little bit wonky. And then like, what you want in the physical realm and life and, what's what I'm looking for here? Practicality. So like, there's almost like this this back and forth. Maybe that's why I feel like this. Like there's this like back and forth between those two aspects of yourself. Like, okay, well I want this, but sometimes it doesn't always, fall in line with this or agree with this. So then it puts me in this position, and it's like it puts you in this position where you're like all over the fucking place. But you have these ideas and feelings of what it is that you would like to have, and it's going to be different for everybody. Some of you might have the love part, and then it's like the current finance part might be a little bit weird. Before I even had a chance to shuffle damn cards. Okay, what we got? So we have it's time to take action. New moon in Aries here, along with emotions are running high. Super moon. We did just have a super moon over this past weekend, so, or last week rather. It wasn't really during the weekend, but that energy does last, I think, for like 2 weeks. So that could be part of what some of you might be feeling at this time, and that could be the energy showing up in this reading. So there's something about, for some of you, there's something that you really aspire to have, whether it's the career and finance aspect or the romance, maybe even both for some of you. And it's like, okay, so how do I get there? Because the emotions get in the way. And it's like, trying to figure out how do I take action and go towards what it is that I want. There might be like this, I heard the word discrepancy. There could be like a discrepancy between what it is that you truly want versus what's happening in front of you. Pretty interesting. Tell us more. Let's get like one more from here, maybe two. My mom is watching Law and Order. I hung out with her for a little bit earlier. Like, what you watching, Mom? She's like, Law and Order. I'm like, okay, I see you. Regular one too, not even like SVU, like the original, the OGs. All right, so we have a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. This originally came out in a challenging position. So I am getting like, it's almost like 50-50 opportunities, right? Things are about to possibly get better, but there might be also things that have to happen in order for it to get to that point, is what I'm kind of getting there. What we got on the bottom here. Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces on the bottom of the deck. What we have inside. Adjustments are see, there's I just said that. There are things that have to happen first. Third quarter moon. So there are some things that have to happen first in order for you to kind of, progress into this new area of life. It's going to look different for everybody because this is a collective. It's a time for healing. I will say that's probably like the main message there in the middle of the deck. Balsamic moon here. I'll show you guys that. So yeah, it's like you guys get to see more changes happening or challenges being resolved as you work on this healing process. The more you work on the healing process, there's more clearance. I heard the word clearance. Like there's more clearance that gets to happen. Very interesting. That helps clear the way for different areas of your life. It's going to be in different places for different people. Wow, very interesting. Definitely didn't know where this was going to go, but we're going to keep it rolling and just kind of see what's going on with you guys. I'm going to pull now from the energy oracle cards. Just keep it going, see what's going on with you guys, keep that momentum going. Hey Ari, how are you? I love to see names that I recognize, and I also love to see names that I don't, because it lets me know that I'm reaching a different audience. And when people decide to stick around, I'm just like, yes, this is awesome. So I'm definitely grateful for all of you guys who decide to tap in, even if it's just for a brief moment. And for those of you who have been rocking with me for a bit, you guys are awesome. So thank you so much for continuing helping and supporting my channel. All right, so here on the bottom of the deck, we have the World. So there's definitely this sense of closure happening. And as I look at the illustration a little bit more, I don't think I've ever paid this close of attention. Like they're almost like on a plank almost, or like a little bridge. There's little lotuses on the side. And they're like literally looking at the world, and there's two sides of it. There's like this darker aspect of it, and there's lighter aspects. And what it's giving me is this, like, this journey of life is literally all about growth and expansion, and you don't really know where you're gonna go. We literally have no idea. You know what I mean? Like the aspects that are going to come towards us and things like that, the different lessons that are going to be learned and things like that. Like there's so much stuff that happens during this journey, and it's really up to us to continue that healing journey, that path, which could explain why there was a card talking about healing here. Um, so I'm also getting like hermit vibes as I look at this card too. I don't think I've ever looked at it this closely before. Yeah, it's definitely giving me like this hermit vibe, like stepping into, your darker side a little bit to kind of figure out what's happening with yourself, what's going on within yourself, to be able to say, okay, well, I know that there are these different things that, are great in my life, but there are also these parts of myself that I need to work on. Tell us more. Let's get maybe 3 from here. All right, what we got? Challenging decision. We have fifth chakra Archangel Gabriel here, and that's about the throat chakra. So that throat chakra could very much be a little bit closed off with it being in a challenging position. Very much so. So this is definitely a time for some of you guys to recognize the fact that, working on discovering your inner voice and being able to be vocal and say what's on your mind and do that unapologetically. Very, very, very important right now. Yeah. And it comes from a place of love with this angel of love here on the bottom of the deck. Like, it comes from a place of love. This is, you know, there's something that's like really heartfelt that needs to be said, or people who are close to your heart that, you need to speak to. Very interesting. Let's get maybe a couple more from this deck. Thank you, Lati. What we got? Angel of Balance. Yes. Some of you might have Libra in your chart. And if not, this is just a time right now of the scales balancing out. That one's like, as I touch the card, it feels warm to me. That's so weird. Like really warm. There's something really important about this card. I'll learn more about that. I'm getting like some of you guys dealt with a lot of karmic cycles, like a lot of heavy shit. Okay? And it's like you guys are still trying to figure those parts out. Like, what did it all mean? Maybe even asking still, like, what does it currently mean? Well, why do I keep experiencing the same shit over and over? I'm getting something like that. Understandably so. It's like, especially when your heart is attached to something, like that makes it so much more difficult. It's like, damn, like, when can I get this off my chest? Like, when can I get this? For some of you, I'm getting people who might have like anxiety issues, or like issues with like breathing, like asthma. Somebody might be dealing like with like bronchitis right now. I just heard breathing treatment. So some of you might have took a recent trip to the hospital for a breathing treatment. That's not going to be for everybody. So please take the messages as they resonate and leave the rest behind. This is not going to be for everybody. But I'm getting that for somebody. So, or somebody who needs to do this. Like, I also heard sleep apnea. Please, please, for the love of God, anybody who's going through something like that. If you, like, for instance, like, I know for certain that some of the symptoms of somebody who might have sleep apnea is like If you wake up feeling completely unrested despite getting a full night of sleep and stuff like that, that could be a sign. So let's say if you don't have somebody who sleeps in the same room as you, please get that looked at. Ooh, that one hit me hard. I did not like that feeling at all. Yeah. Or if there's somebody who you know who has something like that, look into that too. If it's not about you. Whew. I'm also getting a sense of deception here for some. Somebody who was close to you maybe deceived you in some kind of way, or they are deceiving you and you're trying to like figure out, who that person is or what their motives are or something like that. I'm getting that for some of you, despite the fact that this person, you hold them very close to you, like in your heart. Like there is something that needs to be said. So speak your truth because that person ain't gonna do it. And that person could be like a karmic cycle for you that has to be closed out, is what I'm getting. Yeah. So just trying to find that willpower within yourself. Yeah. I feel like a lot of you guys already know who this person is. Some of you might have air in your chart. So some of you might already know who this person is. They're trying to figure it out. And, it's just going to be a time for you guys to kind of sit down and like delve in a little bit and be like, okay, yeah, there's certain people in my life who just, they don't mesh. And you have to understand who that person is. Oh, I am getting that this is not going to be for everybody, but for some of you, this could be more romantically speaking. And there's somebody from like maybe the past who's still kind of lingering in the background, and it's time to let that person go completely. You see how like I can't even get my words out? That person doesn't want me to get those words out, and the reason why is because they're a karmic. And it will also explain why the throat chakra energy is in a crossing or challenging position. So look what's here. Man holding a heart, which is basically the equivalent of the King of Cups, along with on the bottom, a woman holding a heart, aka the equivalent of the Queen of Cups. So the fact that they're showing up together with Angel of Love, wow. So there's a strategy. So there might be somebody like strategizing, trying to fuck with that energy. And it's up to you guys to be able to be wise enough to know who's who. Because there could be somebody coming in with a love offer. There could be more than one person coming in with a love offer. You have to be able to know who's who. Which one is which. Because one person might be from the past coming in with that bullshit ass energy. And the other person is a newer energy coming in, right? Or even if it's not a person that you recognize, like in terms of that old energy, the universe and spirit is funny like that. They will put you in a position sometimes to test you and see if you know which one is which. I'm getting something like that. Let's get one more from here. Whoa, before I just really shuffle, okay? Yeah, see? Um, there's an energy that might put you here, financial constraints. So you have to be able to know which one is which. So there's this juxtaposition here with financial constraints or just like overall hardships and shit like that. Whereas you, on the other end of that juxtaposition, you have a happy family. So there could be somebody who comes in trying to pose as if that's what they want and all that shit, happily ever after. And that's not even what they present really. Yeah, the sun on the bottom of the deck. So it's like just being able to be cognizant enough of who's who and what's what, because you can be victorious through this. Yeah. Just stay rooted and grounded. You are protected with the first chakra archangel Michael here. You are protected through this cycle. And I'm definitely getting this energy of like karmic cycles and karmic people who are trying to come back into the mix, whether it's people you already like truly and currently know versus like people who could come like being represented again in a new energy or a new body, I should say. It's like it's the same energy, new person, and being able to discern which one is which. The spirit's fun. Oh, damn it. Let me see if I can find the card again. Probably not, right? Damn it. I just saw the sun. Fuck. I started to shuffle because we just had the sun in the other deck. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. We also have the Hermit, which I also mentioned too. Like, definitely this energy of, you know, you guys kind of looking within, you know, doing that deeper inner work to work towards your happiness and understanding what that looks like. It's going to look different for everyone. Everybody's going through different things. But the point of the matter that I'm really picking up here is like, there are people in your life who are, I just heard master of manipulation. Like, they're people who know how to manipulate and twist words around, you know, twist on your and pull on your feelings and your heartstrings and stuff like that. And it causes you some angst and puts you in a position where it's not the most positive, right? So it's like, you know, the more that you understand where these people are, where they lie, you understand the importance of putting your guard up, fighting for yourself, Seven of Wands, and, you know, understanding that slow and steady wins the race. Knight of Pentacles here. Understanding that, you know, things aren't going to always happen on your watch and when you want it to, right? So the more that you understand that concept, the better off you are. So just understanding, right? Being cognizant of the fact that, you know, Spirit is going to definitely, you know, help you recognize, yeah, what is what, right? Seven of Cups, like that mental confusion and shit, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, no, not doing it. Why? Because you did a lot of that inner work already, the Hermit. So it's like, the more that you dive deeper within yourself, you get to release and let go of the shit that's not serving you anymore. And that's when you start to see exactly what it is that you need to see in order to move into this new phase. And again, that's going to look different for everybody. Everybody's got different things going on. Some people, you know, it's more of a love related thing. Some people, or just, I was to say like something people, like what the fuck is that? Some people, it's more of a career and finance thing. Some people, it's more internal. It's going to be different for everybody. So please take the messages as they resonate. And as they resonate, let me know in the comment section if this is making sense. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button and that notification bell. All that good stuff, you know. Reactions in the comment section, all that stuff is so helpful so that I know that I'm connecting with your energy. King of Pentacles here on the bottom of the deck. That could be that person's energy that's kind of showing up here, or it could also be like, you know, you guys, because we did see like this whole idea of like being more practical, right? So some of you guys might be just trying to figure out that practical plan aspect of things, and, you know, working on maybe your money and things like that. Let's do we'll keep this one a little bit simple. Let's do a little 3-card spread with this. Let's look at recent past. Ooh. Yeah, so recent past. You guys, hey Queen, what's up, girl? Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you guys for being here. All right, so we have the world here, which is about closure, right? This is about a completion of a cycle. So we definitely got that energy before, and we're seeing it again. Give me one moment. So I'm getting that some of you might have Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius in your chart somewhere, possibly. You know what's funny? because all of the major arcana cards have like energy of different zodiac signs. Technically, it all have energy of zodiac signs, but major arcanas in particular do. And I don't think I've ever really looked that hard at that card to see what the energy is. Very, very interesting. But there is definitely this energy of, you guys had to release, right? After holding on way too long. And when you learned how to release, it might have put you in a place of, I'm getting fear for some, or just really, really, really heightened emotions. We have the King of Cups here. So for some of you, that person could have possibly had some water in their chart. That's not necessarily, a guaranteed thing, but for some of you, it could just be more so the fact that this is a person who knew how to like really like butter you up, played with your emotions. Because I'm definitely getting this is more romantic than anything for most of you. If it's not about a person, it could just be about a circumstance or a situation in which it was very, very emotional. And that is a big part of why this was so hard to close out. Getting that for someone. Absolutely, yes. Hey, babe. So we have this Two of Swords here. And yeah, it was a hard decision. And I guess it's because, having to release something that you have an emotional bond to, very, very, very hard and difficult to do. So I am picking up on that as you guys worked on closing out that cycle or continuing to work on closing out that cycle. Tell us more. Let's look at maybe what the current situation for the majority of the collective might be. Tell us more. Cute. The lovers. Okay. It's nice. But let's see what the surrounding energy is first before we say that. Because the lovers, like, on the surface is like, oh, that's so cute. Like, it's like a, twin flame or a soulmate or something. Not always. I mean, it could be, but sometimes it could also represent major decisions that have to be made. And we are talking about, like, the current energy. I am getting that you are manifesting your ultimate partner. Magician here on the bottom. That's what I'm getting. So some of you guys might be in this mind you, all the cards that came out from the tarot so far are all major arcana, which I like. It represents that you guys are like in a deeper part of your path right now. Like you guys aren't this is not surface level. Like there's like something bigger happening here. So whether it's major decisions that need to be made or something like that you've been working on manifesting something, or yeah, look, another major arcana here. Telling you the strength is here with this Leo energy. So we got Gemini energy. We've got, I forgot what the magician is. Anybody who does tarot, if you guys remember what the magician energy is, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't remember. But yeah, Gemini, Leo, and the other signs that I mentioned earlier. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Very, very interesting. But nonetheless, you guys are definitely in this, energy of manifesting, right? You know, it's giving me like your thoughts manifest. Whatever it is that you are thinking and seeing, it can happen. This is more so a matter of, I'm getting like of this energy of like belief. Like, what do you actually believe can happen, right? Interesting. Yeah, thank you, Queen. I honestly was not sure. One thing I will not do is sit here and lie to you guys on here. Like, if I don't know something and, I can ask for a little bit of insight about something, I will ask. Because, like, To be honest, like zodiacs, like I am not as in depth with that as I am with other things. So there are things where I'm like, oh, I honestly don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. So thank you, Queen. Like I know I'm a mutable sign. So yeah, I forget. I know Virgo is another mutable sign, and there's other two other ones, and I don't remember. But yeah, I don't pretend that I know shit that I don't know. That's one thing I do now. Tell us more. Thank you. Got two cards that came out. Ooh, I love this. Okay. Okay. Now we had saw a card about financial constraint. I'll show you guys that from another deck. Right? So, some issues, in different areas of life. And it doesn't always have to be financial. It could just be this overall like sense of just like a low place in life, right? So we have this Five of Pentacles here. And it's giving me that same energy. Excuse me. Along with the Wheel of Fortune here. They came out together. So 3636 as I'm looking up. And the ironic part about that is 6 and 3 or 3 and 6, whatever, it adds up to 9, which is representing the ending of something, right? So there's this approach of an ending of a cycle happening. That scale is balancing, right? We talked about that earlier. The wheel weren't, going in a new direction when it comes to, overall just like karma and things like that. So that's a great energy to be in for sure. You're getting out of that. And ironically enough, this card has the same signs on it as the World card. So we have Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo on both of those cards, the World and the Wheel of Fortune. So that's a really awesome energy to be in. Awesome. I love that for you guys. And then look what was here again. The Magician on the bottom. You've manifested this. Taking that leap of faith here. Hey, Blessings, what's up? Glad to see you here. Yeah, taking a leap of faith, right? Into the unknown. And that allows for new beginnings to happen. And the Emperor here. Look at all these major arcanas though showing up, guys. Y'all bossing up. Y'all about to be in this whole different ass energy here. And I love that for you. Some of you might have Aries in your chart. Like, there's just this energy of you guys like really looking at things from this new perspective and saying, you know what? I'm gonna take life by the fuck, not the horns, but by the fucking balls, and say, I'm gonna make shit happen. Like, I'm not about to sit here and keep playing games, right? Like, I'm not playing games anymore with my chances at life. I'm gonna start taking, control over these circumstances because I have way more control over what's happening in my life than I give myself credit for. I'm getting something like that. I feel guided to read from the Gateway of Light Activation. And I'm going to get maybe 3 cards from here. Let's see what's going on. Before I even like shuffle or anything, I want to just see what this was. Because this one, like, it's like sliding around. It's like, I think I want you to read me. I'm like, okay, sure. Orion Activation. Supernova, Recreation, Renewal, and Rebirth by Light. I like that. See, there's a reason why that card was like sliding around like that. I'm gonna take it. But let's see. Oh, blessings. I hope you feel better soon. Goodness gracious. Yeah, dental work is never fun, ever. So I hope you feel better soon. Alright, Spirit, tell us what we need to see at this time. Here are some most accurate messages for the collective. earth, base chakra. We talked about the base chakra earlier. Can I find the same card? Probably not, because this is always how it goes, because then I end up looking like a little fibber unless you already were watching earlier. I can't find that card. But we did talk about the base chakra earlier when we were talking about Archangel Michael. Um, yeah, inner earth, base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. Yes. So this is definitely a time to feel more secure within yourself. Secure the foundation is what I just heard. Secure the foundation. So some of you might really, really need to do some inner work with that. This card is hitting me hard right now, even though it's the sun at the bottom of the deck. But like, you know what? It's funny because as I'm like staring at this card too hard, and it could just be because I've been watching way too much shit on YouTube, and going down the rabbit hole. But like, those of you who might be fans of Stranger Things, whoop whoop. um, it's happening, guys. Season 5. Couple more weeks. We got this. We can wait. We already waited how many years for it to come back out. But tell me, for those of you who are not already, Stranger Things fans, tell me that that does not look like the upside down, the tunnels, and that doesn't kind of remind you of like the mind flayer kind of thing. Like, just saying. I don't want to give too many things away if you haven't watched, because it's not like I'm sponsoring Stranger Things or anything, but they wouldn't pay me for that. But anywho, thank you, blessings. Thank you, Lati. I love you guys. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, everybody who's here. Appreciate you guys. Let's get like 3 from here. What we got? Angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe and potent connection. So you are very, very much connected to source, right? Very connected to source. And I'm getting kind of like this energy of just recognizing that you are connected, feeling that sense of security, right? We talked about safety and security a second ago. Feeling that and honoring that. Your ancestors are here, your angels, they're all here watching and monitoring. So you are safe. So sometimes you might get a little bit fearful of being able to take those leaps of faith to go towards the unknown and making those hard decisions in life. But they're just letting you know, like, look, we're guiding you along the way. Tell us more. Let's get a couple more from here. Like, yeah, so just being able to recognize that is one of those like easier said than done kind of things, because obviously, like, when you're going through a lot of stuff, you don't want to take chances, right? You don't want to take, you're like asking yourself, like, how does that little phrase go? It's like, can't even think of how it goes right now, unfortunately. My brain is like all over the place. Not even like do the pros outweigh the cons. Like, we couldn't go with that, but that's not, what I was trying to say. Does the risk outweigh the reward? And vice versa. It's kind of where I'm going with that. And it's like one of those kind of things where it's like, when you're kind of, doubtful or something like that, you don't know, right? And when you're not really 100% sure what's going to happen, it puts you in a position of, stagnancy. It puts you in a position of fear. Stagnancy, fear. Getting a few different things coming at me all at one time. I hate when this fucking happens. Can't get a clear message. I apologize, guys. Right. I think you guys understand where I'm going, but it's just like, it's foggy, right? And maybe that's why I feel like that. Like, it's foggy, and that might be how your brain feels. It's like you feel foggy. You're like, I don't know what to do, right? We have Venusian Galactic Council. Star being guides, answer the call, and time to shine here. I feel guided to look at the bottom of the deck, so let's see what's going on there. Hathor light codes, light immersion, full system upgrade, and power recall. Yeah, you're recalling your power. And maybe that's why it's so confusing, right? Because it's like, what does that even mean, right? What does it look like? That looks like so many different things. And it's like, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's like, for some people, it literally is just cutting people off and saying, fuck this shit. Like, fuck you. I'm done. And for other people, it's a little bit deeper than that. It really depends on where you are in your journey. It depends on what you are cutting off in particular. Like, I can use myself as an example, as I always do. But like, one of the things that I would have to work on when it comes to recalling energy and answering the call, right? It's like, okay, bitch, me. I shouldn't talk to myself like that. I'm saying we're in a joking way right now. Sorry, that was me. I kicked the stand. But like, just being very transparent here, like, I know for a fact that I have a problem with self-talk. I just do. And like, I'm working on it. I'm not quite where I can/should be right now when it comes to self-talk, and I definitely can work on that and should work on that. So that could be something that I can, work on when it comes to recalling my power, right? And bringing that back to me and answering the call, because I know that I need to talk to myself better. I know that there's this gap where I like, it's ironic. See, everything happens for a reason. Today at work, we did like a little getting to know you kind of little worksheet thing, because we changed staff like 3 times already since the beginning of the school year, and I never answered my little questionnaire thing. And one of the things was, what's your strength? And then I put compassion for others. I didn't just say compassion, I said compassion for others. I did not say about myself. And like, as I was writing that, I said to myself earlier, I was like, a little bit of a gap there, because you don't have that same compassion for yourself. That self-compassion is definitely lacking. So, that's just an example for myself, and how I have that gap there, where when it comes to my strengths versus weaknesses, like, there's definitely, something amiss there. And I can acknowledge that. So some of you might be having a similar, difficulty when it comes to, looking inward and understanding what it is that you're meant to do at this time, right? Especially when it comes to like your purpose here on earth, and recalling your energy and your power to be able to do it. I hope that makes sense. I know that was like a mouthful. You guys know I ramble. But I do hope that you guys understood what I was saying there, and that it made sense. All right, tell us more. Let's get one more from here. Thank you. Ah, yes, I like this one. Especially because this is the last card I'm pulling from here. Chamber of the Violet Flame. Lati would appreciate this card. Karmic release, radical transformation. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. A while back, she did a reading, and she was talking about, because she like was able to see it like at her, her third eye, like this energy of, or her mind's eye, I should say, of like this red flame, this blue flame, and then putting them together with this, and it creates purple, and it's just like this energy of releasing. It's very, very heavy energy, just because of the fact that it's like a karmic lesson that needs to be learned, right? Hey, she is. What's up? Grateful. On the bottom of the deck, I just decided to look, even though I have put them to the side, and I looked again. Seraphim's Gateway, voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. You are divinely guided through this fucking portal. I say portal only because of the fact that the whole purpose of why I decided to go on tonight was for the 1111 portal. So like, I am kind of, my hands just got super cold when I said that. I'm like comfortably like warm right now, but my hands are so cold as I started to say that. Um, yeah, and we talked about like voice chakra energy earlier too. So I'm definitely getting this energy of folks who, might feel a little bit alone sometimes. Getting like people who feel a little bit like cold. I even got like abandoned. But spirit is like letting you know, like, oh, trust me, trust us. Like we are here. Please don't ever forget that. Like we are here, and we are going to help support you and guide you through, whatever it is that you're, encountering during this part of the process and the journey that you're on. It's just a matter of, recognizing that. All right, so I'm gonna get maybe three from the wisdom of, it just literally says wisdom of the oracle, but I don't know why I wanted to say wisdom of knowledge, which is a weird thing to say because they're kind of like the same thing, right? Wisdom and knowledge, kind of the same thing. But for some reason, I felt like saying that. I feel guided to say that. This is almost like understanding that all the lessons that you've learned, there's a deeper message there. It's a way for you to gain that knowledge and wisdom to push you forward. So spirit wanted me to make sure that was very, very clear because I'm like, why am I saying that? That's not what it says in the box. I'm reading the box and I'm like, that's not what it says. But that's what I was picking up on and feeling. Very, very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna do one or two more shuffles. Okay, so I'll get maybe three from here. Thank you. The thinker, yeah, see, you guys are really deep in thought, right? I'm definitely getting like some for some of you might be air signs, or just if you're not an air sign, you're just really trying to just learn, right? Really be in this space of learning at this time. All right, tell us more. I love that. I have a lot of air. Wow, that was shot out. Sheesh. Yeah, I have like a lot of air in my chart, and it's just funny to me because I'm a Sagittarius and I'm supposed to be like this whole like, um, I am a philosopher and a thinker. I will say that, but like, I'm supposed to also be like this, adventurer and like just free spirited person. And I don't really feel like that. I don't really feel like that's me. Like I act very, very much different. All right, so what's this card here that fell on the floor? It's chaos and conflict, and I'm getting that you guys are trying to work towards that, right? Or out of it, I should say. Like you're working on how to get out of that place, and it does require some thinking, right? Balancing things out. The reason why I said balancing things out is because the number on there is 33. Some of you might have been seeing the number 3 or 33 a lot. I'm also getting people who might have the life path number of 3 or 33 or 6. Let me know if that makes sense or resonates. But that's what I just picked up on. I'm also getting people who are just trying to like, I'm getting like trying to blend in. And it's funny because me and my son, he can vouch for this because we were just talking about this a little bit before I came on here. We were talking about code switching. We were talking very heavily about code switching and what that looks like. And he's like, I bet you I could code switch a little bit better and deeper than you can. I'm like, I don't know, man. Because let's put it like this. If I go on the phone and I'm talking to somebody and then they see me in person, they're gonna think I'm a white person. I'm just being honest. Like I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that. Like it's just I know how to operate in different areas of my life. And he's like, I do the same thing. I'm like, well, I mean, we kind of raised you like that. There's a reason why your name is Michael. Your dad was not having it when I said I wanted to name you Kimani. It had a meaning to it. He's like, absolutely fucking not. Okay, well, fine. You know what I mean? And, looking back, I'm like, okay. It worked out, I guess. You know, Michael, Kimani. Like, but anywho, not to say there's anything wrong with ethnic names, because there's not. Because if I have a daughter, I want to name her Yamaya or Yumaya, which is an African name. So there's that. That's a whole different conversation, though. So it's like the point I'm making here, though, is the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm getting somebody who's trying to blend in and they're having a hard time. Because the thing is, it's like you're not meant to blend in, you're meant to stand out. And that could be one of the, for somebody, that's not gonna be for everybody, but that could be one of the things that makes it hard to, get past that conflict. The conflict could be possibly internal for some. Because look at the animal in there. They have stripes. They look like a donkey or a horse or something, but then they got like stripes. They got like the spots and stuff from like a giraffe. Like they're all messed up here, right? Because they're trying to blend in, but they're meant to stand out, and that causes that inner conflict. And that's what I'm picking up from that card there. I don't usually pick up that energy from that card, but I'm picking it up now, and there's a reason why. So I had to make sure I delivered that message. Spirit definitely wanted to, make sure I said that. Whew. I'm happy I didn't just knock all those fucking cards on the fucking floor. I would have been so annoyed. So I'm only gonna take these because they're the only ones that came out together. Everything else came out in a big ass clump. I did see higher power. But the ones that I felt drawn to grab that kind of came out separately from all the other ones is breathe. Yes. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now drop, now drop, now drop, now drop. If you got the fattest ass on the block, now drop. I don't have the fattest ass on the block, now drop. I would have to stay in place because I don't have the fattest ass on the block. But anywho's, along with round and round. So those came out together. So I'm getting this energy of just like letting it flow, right? Being in a flow like state after a period of feeling like, this roundabout energy, right? Everything just kind of happening in the same energy constantly, right? And getting out of it, figuring out what does that even look like? What does it mean? Imagine what that can look like, right? Imagine what that can look like when you allow yourself to take a breath and say, I'm going to release and free myself from the bullshit that no longer serves me, right? She said we dance like it's fat. I'm done. The only thing that's fat is these ditties. I like that though. We can pretend. Yes. Yep. Imagine. Imagination. I mean, I used to have a nice booty. Now it's just like a little saggy pancake, but I shouldn't be talking negatively about myself. Even pancakes deserve a little bit of, little happiness, right? A little syrup on that thing, and sop it up like a biscuit. Anyway, we have deep knowing here. Y'all probably like, this bitch is crazy. Just a tad bit, a little bit. I am my daddy's daughter after all. But anyway, yes, deep knowing. Yes, deep knowing. Yeah, you guys, after going through these roundabout situations, right? Learning your lessons, right? And doing what needs to be done, taking that deep breath in and out and saying, okay, I did what I needed to do to get through this lesson, and now it's time to move forward. Yang energy, yes, love that. It's like an emergence. I just heard the emergence. It's the emergence of something new. One more from here. An emergence of something new about yourself that you didn't see before. I love that. I really love that, actually. I hope that you guys have been enjoying this reading so far. I really see. Look at this. Second time I had to catch cards. But a card did still come out. It's just like, it's weird like how the cards are doing that, because it's like if I catch them, I'd be like one card, two cards or something like that. And it's just like that one card, so it's meant for it to be seen for sure. A leg up, yeah, you got a leg up on the, on the competition. uh it's like your lessons allow for you to, be like a little bit ahead of the game. New life, look, come on now, spirit. Did I not just say I was feeling like this energy of new spirit, new life? Holy shit. Reemergence is the word I used, right? That's crazy as hell. Wow. Holy smokes. All that glitters, yeah. It's like also giving me like this energy. Once those masks come off, like yourself, the people in your life, you get to see things for what it really is, and that gives you a leg up, right? It allows you to, step out and be like, okay, cool. Now it allows me to take this step out of this dynamic that I'm in, these old cycles that I'm closing out, and have this new life. Reemergence. I kept hearing that. And here it is again. You can't make this shit up in the middle of the deck. And I split it. Come on now, spirit. Damn. That's powerful. Mm. Wow, that's beautiful. I love that. All right, I'm gonna pull from one last deck to close out. Um, Again, I do hope that this has been resonating with you guys. I hope that you got something out of this, because I definitely enjoyed delivering this message for the 1111 portal. Um, Trying to open the box. That's strange. What's going on here? Sorry, friends. All right, I think I got it. Must be something really important here for that box to almost not open like that. That was weird as hell. All right, so with how weird it was like to open the box, I'm gonna like really pray over these cards. Okay. Yeah. See, divine flow here in the middle of the deck. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others. To follow the Tao, the divine flow, at all costs. So, in other words, just kind of, and with receiving here on the bottom of the deck, it's like, as you allow for things to just kind of happen the way that's meant to, allow for things to happen, like the things that you want to flow towards you, the things that you're releasing, which is exactly what this reading is supposed to be about to begin with. It allows you to receive exactly what it is that you've been wanting, right? Wow. It's a give and take. Interesting. Okay, let's get like 2 or 3 from here to close out the reading for the collective, and that'll be the end of this reading. Thank you guys for being here. I really, really hope that you guys have been getting something out of this message and that it's been making sense. Definitely appreciate you guys for being here for sure. And for those of you who watch at like a later time, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button and that notification bell and subscribe. All that good stuff. So that way you will be notified when I'm on and stuff like that. All right, so we have here? We have sanctity. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. Interesting. Getting a message, so bear with me. Um, it's giving me like, how we allow us to say, like, leave it to God, you know, whatever you believe in, leave it to the universe, so on and so forth. When you just kind of release it and let it go, right? That's kind of giving me like the law of I'm getting the law of abundance, even though that's not really what I want to say. But I'm getting more like the law of attraction. That's what I was feeling, but I said the law of abundance. I guess they're kind of tied in here, I guess. Right. Um, it's like even when, there's like these minuscule things going on in your life and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like just like the smallest annoyances and the biggest annoyances is like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it be. I'm gonna release it. It's no longer my problem. you know? And it's like just letting it go, releasing it. So the more that you recognize the importance of just releasing and letting it go, that's when you start to see a lot of different things start to happen. Ironically, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but her TV is so. and she's watching Girlfriends right now, and some of you might have heard the Girlfriends theme song playing in the background. Hopefully, I don't get flagged. Um, but yeah, such a great show. And also, as I'm reading that though, like it's something about partnership that's sticking out with me with that. It's like, you know, Angie Stone says on there, my girlfriends, they're, through thick and thin and all that, you know, and then depend on through anything, like, the song's about friends, but, friends, how many of us have them? Anyway, uh, but, making friends also with the divine, right? Understanding that they are on our side, they're in our corner, when we're going through different things. Sometimes we don't recognize that, but they're there for a reason. What we got? Signs. Instincts are the message from the inner divine. Yes, trusting your inner knowing. Right. It's giving me kind of like high priestess energy. Being able to recognize those signs and synchronicities and stuff within yourself. Understanding that all those things that you kind of feel within yourself, that third eye energy, it's like that for a reason, right? Let's get a couple more from here, and that'll be the end of the reading. This is fun. I'm happy I went on. Like, I woke up this morning, and it's ironic because I'm actually shocked that our girl Veronica didn't pop in from Aya Inspired Tarot, but me and her are like buddies on Finch, like a little self-care app or whatever. And like I woke up in the middle of the night and I, went on there and it says something about, what are you doing for, 11/11 or some weird shit like that. I can't remember exactly what it said, but because it was like around midnight. I was like, oh, what's this? I had to pee and I was like, oh, what's this? And then I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be 11/11. I definitely want to make sure I go on. I've been done all these like portal readings in a while. Grief. Tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. So I'm getting kind of what happens a little bit, while we're going through a grieving process. And grieving could mean so many different things, but we're just gonna use it in layman's terms at the moment. So, when we go through a process of grieving, right? It means that we're trying to recognize our feelings in that moment and understand that we're not in the best place, right? We're feeling sad, we might be feeling anger. Like there's so many different processes technically, and whatnot, feelings that we have to go through in order to go through the grieving process. And one of those things is a sense of like feeling kind of cold, right? So whatever it is that you've been grieving, for those of you who are resonating with this reading, and that's going to mean different things for different people. It could even mean like grieving parts of yourself that you had to kind of let die off, or you had to cut and sever ties to, so that you could be this newfound version of yourself. I'm getting something like that for somebody. Just recognizing and understanding that it does take time. You're going to feel a lot of different feelings and emotions all at one time, or at different periods of time, depending on where you are at, what stage you're at. Understand that this is all a part of the journey and the process. And again, that's gonna look different for every person. Because like, we definitely picked up on like love for some folks, and then for others it's like more internal. It's like it's a lot going on. A lot of nuance here. Bottom of the deck we have clearing. As true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine to God's. Such freedom. So understanding that nothing is truly ever like ours anyway, right? It's always the most high. The most high just happens to kind of let us borrow that stuff and those moments, those different things that we happen to have. And it's this relationship, you know, I'm getting like symbiotic. Like it's like a symbiotic relationship that you have. And once you start to recognize that, that we are on God. There we go. We're on God's borrowed time. If you believe in God, I'm getting something along those lines. Once you start to recognize that, you start to understand like why are we even dwelling upon the smallest minuscule things. This is becoming very philosophical. That's why I like this deck. um, this is very like different energy than what we usually talk about on this channel. But we dive into so many different things. We talk about different theologies and things like that on here all the time. But this is like a little bit different, right? So understanding these things, right? It's different. It's a different outlook on our circumstances, right? As I say, a different outlook, we have change that comes up. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to the sacred crossroads in your own evolution. Yes, exactly. Wow. We can't control everything. We can't. I say that on here often. Obviously the things we can control, okay, cool, work on those things. But the things you can't, that's why releasing and letting go and leaving it to God, which we did talk about 7-11 as I'm saying that. Not the timing, but 7 people and 11 likes. Like, yeah, we're kind of delving back into that concept. Bottom of the deck we have inner child. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Yes. And, really, really, really honing in on that inner child. Understanding that a lot of like what you're, that grief and stuff and these changes that are, coming about happen to do with, that innermost self, the childlike self. You're still working on it. And that's okay. I am. I know I am for sure. And many of you who end up watching this and resonate with this reading will be able to say the same. So definitely working on that inner child. So with all that said, my loves, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tapping in. And I do hope that you guys have appreciated / resonated with this message and this reading. And yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. So maybe Thursday I could pop in again. You never know, I might pop in again tomorrow. Don't know yet. So with all that said, I love you guys. And until next time, you guys have a great rest of your evening and happy 11/11 portal to you guys as you guys are working on yourself and doing the things that you're doing. With that 7/11 ending off this reading, I think that's awesome. So until next time, I love you guys. Good night.